Hello, welcome to today's video and welcome to Ubuntu TV. Guys, in today's video, I want to share a thought with you on how to minimize conflict with other people. So, it is popularly said that relationships are unavoidable. So, that is to say that as far as you are in life, you cannot exist without having relationships with other people. So, and that is why it is said that man and or no man is an island unto himself. So, but one thing I've discovered is that why so many people get involved in getting to know something about other things. You know, how to pursue money, you know, how to pass your exams, things like that. They pay little attention to the study and understanding of the nature of man and the nature of life. So, and because of this, there has been incessant cases of conflicts and vigorous disagreements that actually lead to spoiling and, you know, damaging relationships. And if you understand the power and the magic of human relationship, you do everything possible to make more friends than enemies. So that's why I'm bringing this video to you today. So, number one thing you must avoid when having a relationship with people is you have to minimize comments that will bruise their ego. So, human beings are egocentric. In other words, an ego is the way people see themselves. So, some people have what is called overbloated ego. In other words, they see themselves as superior to every other person around them. So when they are discussing with you, they come with this air of know it all, or something that my Ogaden will call being full of yourself. So when you make some comments that puncture that, you know, feeling or that ego, then that person will be emotionally wounded or hurt, and the person will feel so bad. And remember, people don't forget how they feel. So that might make that person to start bearing grudges against you. So avoid such comments that will, wound somebody's ego. Now, but it is important for you to develop what a skill that is called tact. Tact. There are ways you can pass a message to someone without bruising that ego, without puncturing that, feeling of self-importance. So, number two thing you must avoid is, you know, mind your business and respect the views of others. You must understand that we all are different. We are created differently. We see things differently. So you have to give room for that, you know, uh, uh, individual differences. So when someone is doing this his or her own way, you have to appreciate the fact that that's still okay. However, that this is another way that the same thing can be done, or a way you look at, or a way you consider a better approach. So when you relate with people this way, knowing full well that nobody has a monopoly of wisdom, It will help you to minimize conflict with other people. So, number 3 point you have to know is that you need to acknowledge other people's views as valid or alternative pathway. You need to acknowledge other people's view. Not that you always insist that your own view or your position on a matter or your claim is the absolute position on that matter. That will also make that person to be psychologically, you know, disenchanted, and it might ruin that relationship. So, always validate other people's point before you make your own point. Now, number 4 is uh, always understand the point of every argument so that you don't end up engaging in blind argument. Sometimes a lot of people think that argument is about, talking, and quarreling. No, argument is about making a case for a position that you are advocating for, giving your points or reasons, and allowing the other person to make his own, giving his own points and reasons. And at the end of the day, you see whether that person or you will agree with that person's position or opinion about that same claim or that same issue. In a situation where none of you were able to see from the other person's point of view, you now acknowledge that every other person's viewpoint is valid in its own merit or right. That could be a better way of avoiding, vigorous and unnecessary, disagreement. So with this, it can help you to manage a relationship. So the other point that I want to make is you have to understand how to massage other people's ego. You have to understand how to massage other people's ego. It is necessary so that even if you want them to see your point, at least they should be psychologically secured and stable to be able to do that. I remember one of my ogas during those days, he wrote a book called Executive Massaging. He was telling, those people who work in the customer service of a bank, he was trying to call their attention on how to massage the customers in an executive way so that the customers will feel so important, so that they will have psychological, you know, state of happiness to be able to do business and transact with the bank. So this executive massaging principle can apply in virtually all spheres of life. So you don't need to insult someone in order to make your point. No. Also, you might be thinking that someone's point is wrong. No, it is not always correct to state expressly that someone's position on the matter is wrong. Rather, you can say that it is different. That could be a way of massaging that person's ego, even when you know that his or her position may be wrong in that case or is wrong in that instance. You still have to use tact because human relationships are one of the most difficult things to handle, very fragile because of this thing called ego or pride, the way people see and carry themselves. It determines almost 80% of the outcome of any relationship. That is one thing that people don't know. So that is why you have to understand situations that call for confrontation. You have to understand situations that call for avoidance. These are approaches and methods of dealing with human relationships and the situations so that you can build more bridges and maintain relationships with other people, because your net worth and your network is a function of how many people you have in your team or you can get across to per minute if you have an issue. Sometimes being rich or being wealthy is a function of your relationship with others. If you have need for 100,000 naira today, how many people do you have in your network that you can call in an instance of maybe 10 minutes or 5 minutes and you get that money? If you need anything, if your car breaks down today on the road or somewhere, how many people do you have on your network that you can reach out to and get help immediately? This is why you need to learn how to manage human relationships. Because whenever your name is mentioned, what comes to the mind of people is how they felt when they interacted or related with you. And that will determine whether they will respond positively or negatively when your case is presented before them. Guys, this is very important. It's very key to success. It's very key to achieving and attaining prosperity. Do not say it doesn't matter, because no man is an island. So begin today to make sure that you manage and work on your relationships. Don't take people for granted. Don't bruise people's ego. Do not be too, do not be too full of yourselves that people cannot approach you. Don't make yourself unapproachable. There are so many people that are unapproachable today. They may be nice people, but the way people perceive them makes people get scared and they don't come close. So, guys, this is what I said I should share with us today, because it will help us in managing our life, in getting help when we need it, in attaining our goals, our desires, and our aspirations. So, please put this to work today. Try to put this into practice and see what the outcome will look like. Share this video, comment on this video, like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel at Ubuntu TV, and follow me on my Facebook page, also at Ubuntu TV. Someone might be waiting for this video to make a change or to make a difference in his or her life. So don't watch alone. Thank you, and watch out for my next video.